Looks like the authorities in Georgia
Then caught your little brother.
then they have caught Derek Groves.
Okay, we're good now.
That's what it is?
Yep.
You had to reboot?
Had to reboot.
It looks like they have caught, or at least had him surrounded earlier today in Atlanta, in that area.
Oh, wait, hold up.
We went back off again? Oh, boy. I tell you what, why don't we go ahead on and take the break? And then while you're doing the break, you can get that straight.
Why has it always got to be us?
Huh?
Why does it always have to be us?
I don't know what that is. Folks, hold on. We're going to get it straight, though. Everybody hold tight. We'll get back to it and give you some more information in just a few minutes. Everybody hold tight.
Late nights are made for chillin', and you can do just that every Sunday night at 10 p.m. as DJ Wick brings you The Love Zone. It's the perfect way to top off your weekend with your favorite old and new school ballads. So sit back, relax, and let DJ Wick take you to the Love Zone on WBOK and on the World Wide Web at WBOK1230.com.
The New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation is the nonprofit organization that owns the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival presented by Shell. With the funds generated from Jazz Fest, the foundation invests in Louisiana companies through economic development, cultural enrichment, and free educational programs. To learn more about what the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation does, please visit www.jazzandheritage.org.
A message from the community scientist. Do you live or work in St. James, St. John, St. Charles, Ascension, Calcasieu, Baton Rouge, or St. Bernard Parish? You may be exposed to harmful chemicals like phthalates, BPA, and flame retardants found in everyday products but linked to serious health risks. That's why the Community Scientist, a program of Rise St. James, brings you clear, science-based facts that protect your health and our environment. Stay informed, stay empowered. Visit risestjames.org today.
Hi, this is Arnie Filko. Let's elevate every Tuesday through Thursday from 6 to 7 o'clock p.m. as we discuss the community, the country, and the world, from politics to current events to sports. We look forward to your input and continuing the quality programming on your community station, WBOK. Join Carrie and I every Tuesday through Thursday, 6 to 7 o'clock p.m. on Elevated Conversations, the Arnie and Carrie Show. See you soon.
Nano's Cajun Cuisine and Pastries. Pull up to the hottest restaurant in the 7th Ward, serving those flavors that you always remember. From the creamy red beans and fried chicken to the liver and grits. Oh yeah, those seafood egg rolls are always rolling. At Nano's, the vibe can't be beat. Old school music, warm hospitality, and real New Orleans food. Come hungry, leave happy. At 2517 Bayou Road, Nano's Cajun Cuisine and Pastries.
New Orleans is at a crossroad. We must force a runoff to protect our culture. A vote for Frank Janusa has a multiplier effect that can make it happen. Even Frank's opponents respect his ability to fix the city's budget.
I'm going to hire Mr. Janusa to go out there and get that money to close whatever the budget gap is.
If I get in there, I'm going to tell you, one of the first people I'm going to call is going to be Mr. Frank Janusa to help me with these numbers.
Together, we can deliver economic opportunity for all. Let's restore New Orleans as the Queen City of the South, paid for by the Frank Janusa mayoral campaign.
Fresh produce, local flavor, and a healthy you. New Orleans East Hospital is hosting a farmers market the last Wednesday of every month from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Join us in the parking lot across from the main entrance. Support local farmers and your wellness. We'll see you there.
After 28 years in prison for a crime he didn't commit, Calvin Duncan established his innocence in a court of law. But Darren Lombard doesn't care about justice. He teamed up with Jeff Landry's attorney general to attack Calvin. They even sued him to stop him from talking about his innocence. According to Landry and Lombard, even if you're judged innocent, you're still guilty. Let's send Landry and Lombard a message. Vote number 7, Calvin Duncan.
Paid for by Calvin for clerk.
Making a difference in the community. WBOK 1230 AM. Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks, welcome back. Hey, man, you sure this thing right?
Yeah. I restarted and everything. We got 17 people viewing. But
I
can't
got
see
I got
chat
no,
whatsoever.
I got no chat. What's the
Me
number?
neither. Somebody sabotaged. Like, we being sabotaged. We thought everything was going so smooth today.
What I said when I walked in the door.
What is it going to be now?
Okay. I guess I'm going to just be quiet then, huh? Is that better? I'm just be quiet. You know what? I can see. I can see it.
You can see the chat?
Mm-hmm.
I can't. What did you do to see chat?
You got to come on this side. Look. I can't explain on air. Because everybody going to be like, they explaining what they doing technically on the air. Yeah, you can look now. So go to the page. Underneath. Yeah, just take a look at it. Because what you did was click on the you just clicked on the photo. If you click on the photo, it'll be on your right side. It's not gonna be over there. It has to be underneath. Okay, I'm sorry, everybody. Sometimes you just gotta make sure that you're doing it right. Or you gotta hook it up so that it at least look right. All right.
Now I see it.
You see it now?
Yep.
I am disturbed on the plight in which we are headed, the direction of this country of ours. I'm disturbed. And I'm not disturbed because Mr. Taco got us going this way. I'm disturbed because those that think they should be going that way, I think are putting African American male and females in a very binding situation that could be detrimental to your life. What? What did you just say? I say it. It looks like we are putting, and I'm going to give you some, for example, so that you'll see it and go, okay, now I see what he's talking about. But it's disturbing to me how this nation acts when there is a incident that costs the lives of others, but when it costs the lives of black people, it's just whatever. Why is that disturbing? It's disturbing to me because who said that somebody that's not the same complexion as you are or as I am, that their lives are more worthy than me? So the same week that we saw a white male get taken out from a long-range gun in Ohio, and everybody that said something about it was either let go or had to be dealt with because they didn't want to deal with it in any other term of freedom of speech. Then you saw the networks act funny. You saw the FCC person, the director act funny. You've seen others that say, you better not say nothing derogatory about that man. He was a good man. But we also saw where the majority of us are sitting back and saying, that ain't my fight. I'm going to leave that alone. But I was watching this interview this young lady did last night with Roland Martin. And she said, it's interesting to me that we celebrate when one of us are killed, mishandled by the police, when we go away unexpectedly. We can be called names by officials that want to name us as thugs. They want to name us and call us anything other than your name and who you are. But say one thing about theirs, you lose your job. You're being scrutinized from social media. You're being put in a place in society where none of us want to be. Almost where there is a silent guillotine. And I was thinking about it as I watched a couple of stories, as they talked about Kyron Lacey. That must have been a hard subject to carry on your brain, since everybody and their mama is talking about you because you're the devil for creating an accident that killed a man, even though that you didn't. But as far as taking that burden off of that young man's head, we had the audacity. Well, let me rephrase that. Not we. You all had the audacity to let that story fester. For several months, not knowing that this story, which was not the truth, was killing this young man. And we let it happen to one of ours. We are living in some trying times right now. And I got to say, I don't know about you, so let me open up my telephone lines, 504-582-9422. I cannot say by any nature possible that I have ever seen this much chaos. We have chaos. But we got chaos every day. We arguing. We having all of these different disrespectful meetings on a national level. And did anybody get a chance to see Pam Bondi yesterday just talking down to all of the senators? These are the things that make me go, when did we ever see this disrespect? Even Jasmine Guy had to, Congresswoman Jasmine had to calm down another black man that wants to put and introduce a law that will take away the number of times that we can give somebody grace when we're talking about young boys, especially young black boys that get in trouble. And she had to come back and say, I beg to differ. And the reason I am is because I know your history. And how dare you come in here and try to slap years of jail time on these young men? You're getting ready to slap all this jail time on young black men that are 16, 17, and you want to go younger so that they'll have to do some hard time. But your history. And when she broke down his history, I was sitting there with my mouth wide open. She was telling everybody, how can you introduce that when you had grace on your side? Because I know your history. You got in trouble several times, not once, not twice, several different times as a young man. And the bill that you're introducing, if they introduce that bill on you, you wouldn't be a member of Congress right now. Karma is something, ain't it? And what's starting to really ache me is that I'm a news junkie. I like watching the news. I have the TV where you could do the 4 different TV channels on one. You know, I divide up the 4 different channels. I have CNN, MSNBC, ABC, and CBS, and I can change up which ones I want, depending on what the story is. And so that's how I sit down and eat my breakfast in the morning, with 4 different news channels playing at the same time.
You, sir, have an addiction.
Yes, that's why I call myself a news junkie. So what's disturbing me about this, and I said I was going to have this conversation today, was the fact that the only time I get to see good news is the last story of NBC News this afternoon. It's the last story. One good news story. All the rest of it is like the world going to hell in a handbasket. And I don't know if anybody else is feeling this way, but I don't like sitting there for 29 out of the 30 minutes with a frown on my face. But that's what I'm starting to do.
It really chaps your arse, doesn't it?
A couple of other parts, too. Mm-hmm. But I'm getting to the point now where I'm like sitting there, this war, I'm still feeling like this Israeli war is one-sided. Because I'm like, what the Palestinians going to do? They're going to throw rocks at them? It's really making me not want to turn my TV channel on.
I stopped watching the news.
I was talking to Judy Boudreaux before I came in here today. And we were just talking about, you know, how the politics are going, how the commercials done started hitting. Oh, the commercials now are ugly.
Very.
They ugly.
No, they oogly.
Everybody got something on somebody. I just said to myself, you know, everybody need to understand something. There's no perfect person. Stop trying to portray that you are. Because if you are, somebody going to dig up and find something that's called opposition research. They're going to do that.
Did you finally see the commercial that I told you about yesterday?
Which one?
Miss Moreno's commercial.
Against Troy?
Yep.
He saw it too. I talked to him yesterday.
Like, yes, indeed.
Huh?
I said, boy, you talking about.
He saw it too. Oh, he had no one coming today. Oh, I did tell it. Yep. Mm-hmm. So
he was saying it without saying it.
Oh, he said it.
Well, I mean, she didn't use the name, but you know exactly.
No. She said the contractor.
Mm-hmm.
But we all know who it is.
What she say, hissy fit or something like that?
Huh?
She said he was having a hissy fit. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, indeed.
That's the old country term.
You talking about my purple brother like that?
He had a hissy fit. I called him the boogeyman yesterday. He said, that's me. But as we look and we say right now that this city, I'm talking about New Orleans, is about to do something good, it makes me ask the question, what they told you? But what's really disturbing me more than anything else with this stuff is the majority of those that'll get out here on Super Sunday and get out there and shake their ass in the streets.
I've been saying that.
Are they paying attention to what's about to happen? And look, I'm a break it up because this is not even a conversation yet. But everybody gonna call me and tell me how you know, bro, when it happened. And I'm gonna tell you, I don't know if I'm gonna say I told you so or not. But the state trying to take the sewage and water board right now. I don't know if everybody know that, but the state is trying to take the sewage and water board from the city of New Orleans. I'll tell you another one. The state is trying to take the French Quarter from the city of New Orleans. They want to use the same rules that they have for City Park and make it more of a resort area so that they can control it and they can have it and we won't have it. So the state is trying to take sewage and water board. The state is trying to take City Park.
But yet, no, you still want to take our tax dollars and put it into the French Quarter.
Absolutely. Y'all can pay for it.
I was saying last night in the New
How
Orleans.
dare you to even think otherwise?
I was saying last night in the New Orleans East Community Group, New Orleans East needs to sequester from the city of New Orleans and see just how long New Orleans survives without our tax dollars.
I would
see just how long.
I would agree if the MOUs could come out first. The MOUs would be the memorandums of understanding, where we would have to have drainage, we would have to have water, we would have to have power.
We have to have our own infrastructure.
You can't have your own infrastructure. You can't. You know how long that would take?
We definitely need our own police department because one police station for 75 square miles ain't working.
Now, we would be able to get our own police stations and fire stations. But as far as being able to get our own infrastructure right now, that's going to take years. That would take years. So we would have to have MOUs, memorandums of understanding, through the city of New Orleans to be able to do that. It's the same thing that Gretna does. It's the same thing that different parts of Jefferson Parish do, because Jefferson Parish has the infrastructure. They just use it for the other parts, like Tarrytown, where else? Harvey, all those different areas. They have the infrastructure, but they have an MOU with them. Mr. Elmo.
You know, I listened to what you just said, and the reason why I always try to piggyback on what you said. Maybe you may not specifically be talking about that particular issue for the day, but I'm just thinking if Dutchman's in office right now, or Mark, even Landrew, you think they're trying to do that? I don't think so. You know, and I think, and in all due respect to the mayor we have right now, I think that's all in order right now because we are unstable government. We have a mayor potentially. We don't know what's going to happen to her. So I think right now, this is the time you have a lot of us make like we don't listen to what's going on. And you put the nail on the head. You know, you could give me the party with you, but you can't get. Wait, you could get me the party with you and second line with you, but you can't get me to really talk for you and really discuss serious issues that's go along with the city. So this is the thing. I just think right now this is the unfortunately a perfect time for the state just to do what they want, and then we just lay back and be goofy and be stupid. God knows what else they're gonna take over, you know.
Oh yeah, I mean there's gonna be some more, but I think they want the prized possessions of the city, and that is sewage and water board. They got the convention center already. They're gonna try to take care of a lot of the utilities and all the other stuff. So I'm gonna take away the power. The things that make us powerful, they're trying to try to do with it themselves. I can tell you, the French Quarter is starting to look very interesting to the powers that be because they're writing up legislation to take it over, just like they have City Park. They're going to try. And if we're not paying attention and we let it happen, that's going to be on us.
Well, thank God you're paying attention. And listen, man, I don't need a big wall. Listen, please forgive me for saying this about you. Appreciate you, brother. Can't say enough about you. I don't need a big wall to fall on my head. Now, you telling me straight up what's going on. If I'm that stupid not to listen to you, I need my ass. Please forgive me, but you know what, kid.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, you can't be more. I mean, I think you know what? If I was in your position, please forgive me, Gerod, I'd be frustrated too because you're telling people what's going on, and you got people just don't want. I'm not saying they just don't want to listen, or they make like they're not listening to you, or maybe they don't care. I don't know. If all that's stupid, you know, you're just. I really don't. Listen, I don't know if you know my MO or not. I'm a radio junkie. Please forgive me. And I listen to a lot of talk shows. I listen to you a lot. And I listen to everybody to get an opinion on what I need to discuss when you're discussing something. So I try to do my homework. Don't think I just come on just blabbing at the mouth. I listen to everybody very closely. And I don't just try to look at an opinion on saying something that I think benefits Elmore. I try to look at the people involved on. Make sure you know what you're saying before you open your mouth, because they got people listening to what you're saying. They'll challenge you. Include yourself, and I don't mind anybody challenge me if I'm saying something that's not correct. But I try to give an opinion that's very opinionated, that I call common sense, and even common sense. Even you very up straight what you're saying, and you do more than say common sense to people, and you hear people's not gonna go along with what you're saying, brother.
Well,
you follow me?
Sometimes when you hear the things, you can't sit back and just let it happen. Sometimes you got to say what it is, but I can't beat nobody over the head with it. That's
no, sir. And listen, and I agree. And look, the thing about it being informed is like, it's amazing the perception what people say. I remember when after Katrina and everybody was trying to not only preserve our jobs, but we're trying to make the city go in the right direction. And I'm proud to say I was part of it. But the thing about it, I'm listening to contractors all over the United States coming in. They made a killing in New Orleans. You know, contractors. And the guy, white guy, he's from, don't let the white say this, he's from Illinois. Got the new, sometimes I think maybe I hate the perception of reality where white folks think New Orleans are stupid. I was the wrong one for him to talk to. So you're talking to me, you say, hey, man, is you a New Orleanian? Oh, yes, sir, proud New Orleanian, proud New Orleans Easterner. You say, what possesses you to want to live in New Orleans where every time you have to leave a hurricane, and then you got poor leadership, you got a governor about all the birds are going to jail and everything. I said, well, they make you something. You say you from Illinois? I said, maybe you don't read, huh? I said, most of your governors your three past governors went to jail. So what are you talking about? Yeah. So I think people think you're stupid, sometimes you have to let people know maybe I look stupid or I'm not,
Yeah. All right, Mr. Elmore, let me take my break. I appreciate y'all
always,
right, my friend. Talk to you in a minute.
Thank you.
All right, Shed, hold on. We coming right back. We got to take this break.
Hoops, Heat, The Truth, on demand. Ball Don't Lie is now live on all podcast platforms. Tap in, search WBOK Media, find Ball Don't Lie, and bring the fire with you wherever you go. Download, share, and leave that 5-star review, because the game doesn't stop when the show ends.
Tired of the impersonal, one-size-fit-all style of banking? You deserve a bank that delivers exceptional service and personalized attention to your needs. That's the Home Bank Standard. Since 1908, Home Bank has been a trusted financial partner for businesses and families because we go the extra mile to help you reach your goals. See for yourself why Home Bank is good for business, good for life. Stop by any New Orleans area location or find out more at home24bank.com. Home Bank, member FDIC.
Are you passionate about community safety and police accountability? Tune in to The Monitor's Mic, where we talk about oversight, policing, and you. Hosted by the Office of Independent Police Monitor, we're here to shine a light on policing issues that matter, from real-time policing updates to in-depth interviews. Get the facts and stay informed. We're breaking down complex issues, highlighting community voices, and holding people behind the badge accountable. Join us for an informative hour every Friday at noon on WBOK. Your city, your police, your show. The Monitor's Mic.
The NAACP New Orleans branch invites you to our 2025 Freedom Fund Banquet and Awards Ceremony, a night to uplift and celebrate. Join us Saturday, November 1st from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. at Xavier University's Center Grand Ballroom. Through your support, dollars fund scholarships, youth programs, and vital community projects. It's keeping the struggle to preserve civil rights current and vigorous. For tickets and information, call 504-460-7765.
LifeCare provides valuable whole life insurance to cover final expenses such as medical bills, burial costs, and unpaid debt. A final expense insurance policy is fast, easy, affordable life insurance that's available to anyone between the ages of 50 and 80. No medical exams, no lengthy questionnaires, and no waiting period. The application process is quick and easy. You can even apply without having to undergo a medical examination. Just answer a few questions and we'll do the rest. With the average funeral cost skyrocketing to $11,000 and Social Security only paying $255, you need simple, affordable peace of mind for you and your whole family. Don't leave behind unpaid expenses that, if left unattended, will burden your family tremendously. Benefits include a guaranteed premium that will never increase, a guaranteed cash value, and a guaranteed death benefit that can never decrease. To find out how you can get final expense insurance with a guaranteed lifetime rate lock, call LifeCare at 800-571-9955. That's 800-571-9955. 800-571-9955.
WBOK. Listen now on WBOK1230.com.
Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks, welcome back. Welcome back. Just in case you haven't been paying attention to the intricacies of the news today, let me go ahead on and read this one to you so that you'll know that the final inmate that was on the run after the jailbreak in Orleans Parish Jail has been captured. U.S. Marshals captured Derek Groves after a standoff at his residence, at a residence in southwest Atlanta. He was found near the corner of Camp Belton Road and Honeysuckle Lane. Groves was captured after a tip was called into New Orleans Crime Stoppers, and Crime Stoppers issued a statement that read, Crime Stoppers GNO was very proud to be a member agency working with the task force, which brought Mr. Groves to justice today in Atlanta. Tips to our organization assisted with the arrest, and our apprehension goes to those individuals who have called, texted, and emailed anonymous tips concerning this incident since he escaped. As we work with law enforcement on this matter, we are thankful for the peaceful resolution to this matter and the excellent work by our local, state, and federal law enforcement partners. According to the U.S. Marshals, after the tip was received, authorities surrounded a home where they deployed canisters into the house and used a K-9 officer to capture Groves in the crawl space of the home. After that, he was taken into custody peacefully, and videos show the moment Groves was taken into custody and driven away in the back of an Atlanta police car. So, the final inmate from the May 16th escape was captured today in Atlanta.
They're saying peaceful apprehension. And there was a SWAT standoff.
They had to make it sound like it was,
And somebody must have had some bills to pay because they needed that 50 G's.
Absolutely. Chad.
Man, I want to know what's wrong with us as a whole.
What are you talking about?
As black people, what have they substituted for our sugar? Because we own something different. Here in 2025, where other folk are supporting their own, even with 30-something charges. But yet, folk got us brainwashed not to support each other because we look like each other. And we happen to be educated and qualified. Now we got people, your pulpit is supposed to be a sacred place. Now we got, I guess, another version of what that used to be, the 700 Club or something. Now your pulpit, and it's not sacred anymore. What's wrong with us? Why can't we support our own or support each other in the majority of black city when we know this radio for years now, Gerard, that the state takeover is upon us?
Mm-hmm.
And two of the major informants to the governor are the city council at large members. It's happening in front of us. What, it's going to be too late?
Yeah, it's going to be too late because everybody seems to be on the bandwagon.
Dude, it is worse than that movie Get Out.
Did they replace?
This doesn't make any sense.
They replaced
well, you
the
got
brains?
you got her talking, and then here come the house Negroes, filling it in, clapping, looking like the buffoonery is real.
Mm-hmm.
Now, lastly, to all these people, if you and you're endorsing her, maybe we need not to go to your law firm, or maybe we need to go to a Latino law firm. If you are a preacher, maybe your congregation needs to go to a Latino preacher. Is this what we are doing? Because this is what you all are doing. This is the season where God is showing us who means us well. Y'all have a good one.
All right, brother. That's interesting. But what do you say? Do we tell the people, this is who you're supposed to vote for? That's not our job. Our job is to make sure you get out and vote. Who's going to be your leader? But I want to carefully go through something. I want to carefully make you remember something. I want you to be open to what I'm going to bring to the table. And it might be something to make you go, And it might be a candidate that's listening today that you all will answer a couple of questions, because I don't think they'll ever get any questions like this because everybody's so politically correct right now. Nobody wants to say anything bad. Nobody wants to say anything that's leading you one way or forgetting people from the other way, because, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. You say something that could be offensive, everybody's going to use that against you. I just think that we are in a real sensitive time right now. Why? We get our feelings hurt when it's something that don't even pertain to you. How dare he say something like that? Well, my question to you all is, if somebody says something that's offensive and it don't pertain to you or anybody that you know in particular, shouldn't it be one of those issues that you just shut up? I ain't going to say shut up and dribble. But somebody is looking for you to get angry. Somebody's looking for you to get upset, start hollering, kicking. They want to try you. They want to make sure that you get mad. Why? Because then I can say what I need to say, that you that angry black female or that angry black male. Some of the best stuff that can be said about somebody, to somebody, and for somebody can be said with no temperament, can be said monotone, and can be said without even raising your voice. Make your point. You don't have to tell the whole story. There's no need for me to have to give you back to 1875 to currently to make my point. We just don't know how to abbreviate when we get heated. Abbreviation can be as good as telling somebody no or yes, but there could be a story before it or after it that you don't really even have to discuss. That story could be yes or no. I don't think so. All you got to do is learn how to abbreviate yourself. Not say too many 4-letter words either. That's a good one. That's a good abbreviation there. All right, we'll take a break here. We'll come back. We'll give you some more about Derrick Groves in just a bit, y'all. Everybody hold tight.
From the campus of Xavier University, WBOK Go and Equity Media Station.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. Texas National Guard troops are stationed at an Army Reserve Center in Elwood, Illinois, possibly to guard an ICE facility in Broadview. Black Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson called the move illegal and unconstitutional, saying the Texas governor should mind his own business. Black Washington, D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser is pushing to legalize poker, blackjack, and commercial bingo. Her new bill would allow regulated games for those 18 and up, with operators paying licensing fees and a 25% tax. Bowser says it could help offset revenue loss from budget and federal job cuts. And Mary J. Blige is releasing her first concert film, Mary J. Blige For My Fans, live from Madison Square Garden in theaters November 5th and 8th. The film captures her sold-out Madison Square Garden show featuring career hits, songs from Gratitude, and behind-the-scenes moments with surprise guests. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks, welcome back. Welcome back. Gerard Stevens with you. What's today, Wednesday? Yeah.
Day.
As soon as I get out of here today, got to go over to Algiers. I'm going to try to reach out for Chantrice in a few minutes. You all got a chance to hear Chantrice on, I think it was Monday. Yeah, because Dr. Shepard was here. Monday, Chantrice was joining us and having some conversation. That is the Organization for Citizens for Better Algiers. And what they are basically doing is, I don't want to say the healthcare providers for those that need it the most, but they are. And they also are real dogmatic about housing for those that don't have nowhere to go. So they're having their annual gala today. It's a fundraiser for the nonprofit Concerned Citizens. That's happening today. And for the last 3 or 4 years, I think it's 4, I've been their MC for the gala. We have some fun, baby. We have some fun. So it's going to be today over at Federal City, at the auditorium at Federal City. Doors opening right now. It's 5 o'clock. So I'm going to leave here right at 6 o'clock and head on over to the West Bank because they got to get it going. If you don't have anything to do, please come over. Even if you got something to do, postpone it. Come on over. Have some fun with us and see what these folks do every day, in and out, taking care of folks, making sure that nobody's homeless, hungry, and gets the meds that they need to handle some of their situations. All right? So come on over. Federal City today. As soon as we get out of here, we'll be headed that way on the West Bank. Gotta wait.
What's going on, brother Gerard? How you doing?
You the man. How you doing?
Man, if I had your hands, I could cut mine off, brother.
We both be called Nubby. That's what it is. What's going on?
Oh man, I'm gonna tell you real quick, man.
Mm-hmm.
I seen a picture today of a drone shot of the 9x2 line. If you see how many people was on that bridge going across that canal, And all I put on there was, please vote like you second line. We wouldn't be in this mess.
Nope.
Not one person responded to that. So that's the state that we're in. But you brought up some of the work that I do. You brought up Jasmine Crockett and Byron Donalds.
Mm-hmm.
This man was convicted of selling marijuana, pre-trial diversion, wiped it off his record. Then, 3 years later, was convicted of larceny, trying to defraud a bank, felony. Gave him 2 years probation, wiped it off his record. His bill up there in Washington passed the House. Now, he's going to need some help in the Senate from Democrats. I don't think they're going to do it. But the same privileges that he was afforded, he wants to take that away from Washington, D.C., which is majority black young men, that the same crimes that he committed. And it takes me back to what a lot of young people always ask me. Y'all don't work together. Y'all always telling us about unity. Y'all don't work together. Y'all do this and that. And I said, brother, you got to realize some people make it and they pull up that ladder. Some people make it and may argue, but I'm going to drag somebody up there with me. That's my whole thing. It's not perfect sometimes helping somebody, but at least you're trying. And Byron Donalds, when he was at the march on at Selma, I go every year to the reenactment in Selma. And I told those people, y'all letting a fool speak to y'all. You know, they almost ran me up out of Selma.
Why?
Because I was being disrespectful.
Oh.
Because well, we was in a church. Yeah, but I didn't do like, you know who. I didn't go up to him and behind his ear.
Right.
I just told him, when they let folks speak, I told him, I said, y'all a fool for letting this man speak.
Right.
He is not for anybody but for himself. And now, those same people at Selma have called me over the last month or so and told me that they apologized to me. They had no idea that he was trying to make it harder for young black men who made a mistake to get their life back together. When you change mandatory minimums to make it a minimum, see that second charge that Byron Donalds got, he's supposed to be in prison from 3 to 5 years at a minimum. He would not even be in Congress right now. So if another young black man does that in D.C. and they pass that law, that young black man can not join the military.
Right.
You know, he's a convicted felon now. He can't own land, can't buy this, can't do a lot of stuff. So the problem I see is with people like Byron Donalds, Clarence Thomas, and Tim Scott. I can name all of them.
Were you surprised to hear him want to introduce that bill for D.C., knowing that he had gone through what he went through as a young man too, and now he's trying to take the grace that was given him and throw it out the door?
I was extremely shocked that he would do this on crime, something that he went through himself, knowing the hardship that it causes, not only that person, the family that's trying to support you through those charges. Like I tell people, when you commit crimes, you're not just hurting yourself. You got somebody in your family that loves you.
Right.
Mama, grandma, auntie, grandpa. Somebody is going to sit there and try to give their last. Even though you may be guilty, it's all I know. Somebody's going to try to give their last to help you, to get you less time or something.
Right.
And
I'm going to put my house up.
Yes. When you know a lot of people have put they titles to cars, houses, and everything to get somebody out, just to get them a bond. And that's the point that hurt me the most. I said, this is the problem. You know, I always talk about, I fought so hard for these deferments for your first felony. Give them 6 years probation. Bro, you got 6 years, you got to stay clean. You got to take a urinalysis every month. You got to go to every class in the world. And then in 3 years, you go back to that judge. And if you clean in 3 years, instead of you serving that 6-year probation, in 3 years of probation, the judge will take in all the things that you've done and you can get off. Byron Donalds don't want to see nobody else come up. And we have a lot of black men, sad to say that, 18% voted for the con man that will actually sit there and believe in Byron Donalds. Yeah, tough on crime. Yeah. You know, I keep telling folks, the National Guard is not y'all problem. I said, that's not going to stop what's going on. I said, prevention. The National Guard is not there to prevent anybody from crime. I said, when we had the DARE program, people laugh at it. I said, the DARE program was in grades K through 12. Some of us got the message with the DARE program.
Some of us did.
Yeah, a lot did now. Trust me. You know, I'm from Orleans Parish. I know a lot of us did get the message, but enough of us did. And it did help. Programs like that, what I'm just getting at, programs like that can help you. Because a lot of folks need help. We're in trying times. Think about this. Right in Texas, we had 2 mass shootings at ICE facilities, right? Our National Guard is in Chicago. Not where they having the mass shootings here in Texas. I hate the laugh because that's how comical we have gotten. They shoot up somewhere in Texas. Oh, go to Illinois. Go help the ICE up there. But you're not even helping your own people here.
Nope.
So it's a game. And you talk about chaos and Pam Bondi. Like I tell folks, that woman had a script. You can go back and look at the video. Every senator that she didn't like, she had comments to say about him. And when she ran out of comments, she just sat there. She keep telling folks to go talk to the director of the FBI. You know who the director of the FBI answers to?
Trump.
Her. The DOJ. Yes, the FBI answers to the DOJ. Then the DOJ is supposed to be independent.
Yeah, they're supposed to be independent. That's what I was going to say, that they needed to be independent. But what I think
But
that
Trump
was, and I think one of the announcers who was saying the same thing, they said, you know, that what we saw with Pam Bondi was a show for one. She was showing
for
out
Trump.
for Trump. That's it.
Yeah. And see, is she talking about ending this political persecution, all this and that? Everybody who's tried Donald Trump in a trial has an active investigation on them, or be like Comey, you going to court. So this country, I hate to say it, something's going to have to happen. There's no way we can survive another 3 years like this.
You the second person I didn't heard say that, and I know what you mean.
I mean, and look, like I tell folks, I get up and do 3-mile run, sit-ups, and push-ups, and I do my marksmanship training. I hope y'all doing the same, because I ain't going. I'm telling you, I don't like the heat, and I can't stand working in the cotton field.
There's
you have
no
a good
way
day,
in the
brother
world
Gerard.
I don't think nobody going. I don't think I could do it.
All right, brother, you have a good one. Thank you.
All right, gotta wait. I couldn't do it. Look, I've been in them fields before. Wasn't for no cotton. We was doing tobacco. Could I do that like I was a little young boy? No. That son ain't playing. We were doing tobacco. We was priming tobacco. Nope. Can't go back out there and do that no more. It was good money, but I ain't going back out there. I'll watch you. But ain't gonna be no watching you while somebody look over you and tell you, put your back into it. No. Or have a whip after you or something. No, we ain't going back there. Listen, I am looking and monitoring this at the same time, so I want to make sure everybody know they do and have caught Derrick Groves. They got him in shackles as well as handcuffs, zip ties. They had already put him in the back of the car and he's on the way. He probably is coming back here and going straight to Angola like they did the other ones. So they did catch him. For those of you that are saying, but they did. I know that is a weight off of a lot of folks' shoulders, including the sheriffs. I know that's a lot of weight. But we'll start waiting to see, what's that going to look like for the remainder of the folks, meaning those folks that had a lot to say, whether we're talking about from a state level or from a national level. We'll see. We'll see what they got to say. And maybe we'll start taking comments to see what the sheriff has to say about it, since this is one of her pet peeves. She wanted to make sure that this happened. Even though that she's campaigning, I know that she wanted to make sure that all resources were still looking for Derrick Groves. And how did he get to Atlanta? Somebody going with you. And whose house were you staying in? Somebody going with you. Somebody going with you. We'll see. This is going to make national news. It's going to make news tonight, of course, if it hasn't already. But this is going to make some real serious news tonight. Because I know a lot of folks have been looking for this to happen. And maybe just be that time. Maybe just that time. All right. So our number 504-582-9422. 504-582-9422. Give us a ring. What you feeling? Are you relieved that they caught him? Are you relieved? 5-month manhunt. That's how long that has been. A 5-month manhunt for escaped Louisiana inmate Derrick Groves. It came to an end today when authorities found him hiding in a crawl space beneath a home in southwest Atlanta. 28-year-old was the last of 10 inmates who escaped from the Orleans Parish Justice Center in May in one of the largest jailbreaks in the history of Louisiana. His capture followed a multi-agency search that stretched across several different states. And now you know they're going to get the man. Them U.S. Marshals, boy, they are no joke. They're going to get their man. Deputy U.S. Marshal Brian Fair said that Groves was located after a search that lasted several hours at a home on Honeysuckle Street. Authorities deployed gas multiple times before discovering Groves in a basement crawl space. He was taken into custody by a SWAT team and booked into the Fulton County Jail as a fugitive from justice. They couldn't find him. They had to deploy gas multiple times in the house and basement based on how long it took a seasoned, well-trained SWAT team to take him out. They took him out. It took a while. So we're glad to know that that is over for now. They also said on here that his girlfriend is being held on a $2.5 million bond. On this one, I don't care who she is. Baby, I love you and everything. But I can't be in jail with no $2.5 million bond. I ain't never getting out. And I don't want nobody in there calling me their girlfriend. What's your name? Bubba. What's your name? Your name is Bubba's girlfriend. Hubba Bubba. Hubba Bubba. No, ma'am, no, sir. No, thank you. Fox 8 got all the pictures up. They got all the video, too. Fox 8 got him coming out of the door with his hands behind his back. He got shackles on. They got him in the car. If you get a chance, go to Fox 8's website. I'm not trying to promote the radio television station, but go to their they got all the guys in their gear, bringing them out the door. Got him standing by the Atlanta police car with the shackles on and shackles behind his back. Man, and you can see when they bring him out the door. All right. Tell you what we do. We'll take another break here because I'm just rattling on, just giving y'all the details. I'm just looking at all the stuff that's coming in to me and describing it to you so that you'll know. We'll come back. I got some other stories that I want to talk about, but I don't want to break them up and then have to come right back tomorrow and do it again. And then I got to call the sheriff, see what she know about this case. All right, more coming up, y'all. Everybody hold tight.
This is the Bloomberg Black Business Beat. The banking industry is working hard to try to earn the trust of black households. Research from the McKinsey Institute for Black Economic Mobility shows that avoiding banks is costing black families money and could be a key contributor to the racial wealth gap. That's why firms like Greenwood could make a big difference. It's a black-owned financial institution helping to bring more black families into banking, and it's reinvesting in the black community. Ryan Glover is co-founder and chairman of Greenwood and talked to me about some of the creative ways his firm gives back.
When our members create an account through Greenwood, it provides essentially 5 meals to a food insecure family through Gooder. Each time you make a purchase, Greenwood rounds up the spare change to support HBCUs through the UNCF.
Glover's Greenwood co-founders are rapper and activist Killer Mike and former Atlanta mayor and U.S. Ambassador Andrew Young. I'm Bloomberg's Justin Milliner on the Black Business Beat.
Lowe's knows you've got a job to do, and we help get it done. With the MyLowe's Pro Rewards program, eligible members save more with volume discounts on qualifying orders through a quote of $2,000 or more. Join for free today. Lowe's, we help, you save. Offer can't be combined with any other discount, contract, and/or special pricing. Exclusions, more terms, and restrictions apply. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
With Fidelity Wealth Management, a dedicated advisor gets to know you and your goals to build a comprehensive plan to help grow and protect your wealth. Backed by a team of specialists, they'll analyze all your accounts, even the ones they don't manage, to keep an eye on taxes and provide proactive portfolio insights that can help you unlock your wealth's full potential. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC. Member NYSE SIPC.
New Orleans, are you ready for a voice that says what you're thinking? Who that, you might ask? Arrington Gavin. That's right, I'm your guy, host of The Arrington Gavin Show, giving you so much filled with bold opinions, real conversations, and zero sugarcoating. We're going to be diving into the issues that matter: politics, pop culture, and all the above, unfiltered and unafraid. Catch The Arrington Gavin Show weeknights from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m., Monday through Fridays, right here on WBOK, what New Orleans is talking about.
Tired of the impersonal, one-size-fits-all style of banking? You deserve a bank that delivers exceptional service and personalized attention to your needs. That's the Home Bank Standard. Since 1908, Home Bank has been a trusted financial partner for businesses and families because we go the extra mile to help you reach your goals. See for yourself why Home Bank is good for business, good for life. Stop by any New Orleans area location or find out more at home24bank.com. Home Bank, member FDIC.
JP Morrell, he's not for me. I work hard every day, and while I'm struggling to pay my bills and put food on the table, JP didn't even show up to hold a utility committee meeting for 6 months. Now my gas bill got a $12 surcharge I never asked for. Makes sense. JP was cozying up to Delta Gas and Entergy instead. JP, quit playing in our faces. It's time for real leadership. Pastor Gregory Manning. He respects us, will fight for us, and he will never sell us out. Paid for by Friends for Gregory Manning.
Making a difference in the community. WBOK 1230 AM. Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks, welcome back. Welcome back. Gerard Stevens with you. Just like you didn't know, I want to make sure that you do know, just in case you haven't been paying attention to the news on today. It has been announced. We are looking at all the video of the capture by the Deputy U.S. Marshals, the U.S. Marshals team, the task force, who found out that Derrick Rose was being held up in Atlanta in a crawl space in a house. They went in and got him. So the final inmate that was from the May 16th escape, and in the famous words of Susan Hudson, it was the great let out. He has been captured. He has been captured. Joining us now, the sheriff. Sheriff, thanks for picking up the phone for us. This is a good day.
Great day, G. Thank you very much for reaching out. I got to say, I'm so grateful for all our partners, all the help that we got, and just extremely grateful to have this man back in custody.
This has been a long search, and it's interesting to me because when we started looking at the other inmates, it was interesting to me that none of them could get that far. But
right.
From then to now, how long has this young man been in a area like Atlanta? So somebody had to help him.
Oh, he had a lot of help, and that was really clear. He I believe was the mastermind of this, and the final results will tell that he had a plan.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, a lot of the other ones did not. They went to Bourbon Street, they went here, they went there, and whatnot. This man had a plan. I do believe he was one of the masterminds of it, and we want to continue to fill in all that information so that the next steps for me now that we don't have to worry about using our intelligence and information we have from the jail to help catch him. Now is to turn all of our resources towards holding those who work for me who did this accountable. That's all that's on my mind next.
So there's no ifs, ands, and buts about this. You are going to be dogmatic about those. You call this the great let out. You've said that a couple of times in different venues, those including those debates or forums. But you do think that there are some folks that are involved in this that may be out of the jail.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. I mean, there's just no way to get out of the Orleans Justice Center without help.
Mm-hmm.
And so I know that just because of the way that it's structured, the door system, so on and so forth. So, and the way that they were able to get out, we know that to get there, they had to have help. So we'll tell that whole story when we start holding folks criminally accountable for this. It'll be very clear that they had to have help.
Mm-hmm. It is Groves, and I don't want to ask all the different questions because I know that there's an investigation that is still going on, and I know that right now it's going to be pivotal how you all get information. So I'm gonna leave that part alone. But I am thinking about this part about it. When you say that those folks are going to be held liable for this, are you thinking that's going to be swift, or do you think that's going to take some time?
It's going to take some time. So, you have to go through information in the jail. So we have like 900 cameras that we're looking at.
Mm-hmm.
You've got, there are tablets that have information, phone calls. So there's just a ton of information that we have to comb through. We have some information. We're looking for others. And then, of course, we'll serve search warrants if necessary, and other investigative tools as well. So we're not done by a long shot, but we see definitely have some targeted individuals, and we are making our case.
Very good. Well, I think this one was a relief off of everybody that he's now captured. So Derrick Groves in custody. Is he coming back to you, or is he going straight to Angola?
Not exactly sure exactly where he'll be housed at, and but he'll be, of course, brought back from Atlanta, and we'll see where he ends up at. He won't be here. Most of the escapees who have been at Angola, which I'm very much good with. I reached out today to State Police, NOPD, Fulton County Sheriff, tried to reach the Atlanta chief as well, but couldn't, just to say thank you to all our partners for that. And, wherever he's held at, that's good. We want him. We just want him held.
So I wonder though, and I'm not looking for you to answer this, but I wonder is the state police, because if the state police gets him here, they're more than likely going to interrogate him before they take him to Angola or wherever they're going to end up, wherever he's going to end up being. Do you think that he would give up any information on how this all transpired in the first place?
Yeah, well, your guess is as good as mine, but because I don't know what he did, prior to being convicted. So I don't know if he shared information. I don't know if he was cooperative in any way or not. I just don't know. So, I'm sure, everybody would love to interview this guy.
And I know this is early. Yeah, I know this is early. All righty then. Well, that's that. I'm glad that this is over, so you can rest and make sure that this doesn't happen again. And I know that you're trying to make sure that you get everybody that's involved, and that's coming, right?
That's right, and that's the investigative side, but we're still hardening the facilities. We put some redundant safeguards in place, and we're just going to continue doing our work and continue to also, help make this a safer city by dealing with those in our custody. So our job has not changed, not one iota. I keep my eyes on my prize at all times.
Right.
And getting him in custody was a big part of it.
Yeah.
So I'm very, very grateful that has occurred. I forgot to mention I called the United States Marshal as well.
Yep.
Very grateful for their task force and the work. We have deputies on that, and they were a part of this too. So just very grateful.
Very good. Well, thank you, ma'am. Appreciate the info, and let us know. Keep us updated. I know it's going to be a press conference coming up pretty soon, so just keep us updated.
Will do, G. Thank you.
I appreciate you again. Alrighty.
All right. Have a great one. Bye.
Let me make sure I clarify something. That was a conversation that I was having with the sheriff, not the candidate for an office, but she has to hold that office while she is the incumbent. So I need to clarify that. So I don't get those telephone calls from everybody saying, oh, you did that and you ain't talked to me. Oh, you didn't know. I have the opportunity and the legal responsibility of getting you information from the person that holds the office, and that is Susan Hudson. All right. Let's talk to Miss Denise. Miss Denise?
Hey, here I am again.
How are
you doing?
Good, and yourself?
I'm doing fine. Look, I listened to Chief Hudson, and I do really believe what she's saying. I do believe it was a let out. And I'm pretty sure as the investigation continues, whether she's in that office or not, it's going to reflect that there were a few bad apples in those who were working in the facility. So I do believe it's going to uncover some things. But I do want to get on here because this is huge. That this guy Groves has been captured, and I know a lot of people make a lot of jokes and different things about it, and free Groves, but when you do the crime, you must do the time.
Mm-hmm.
So he's gonna do. They're gonna take care of that part. But the big thing for me is I don't want us to be distracted. We do have an election this Saturday, October the 11th. If you did not, and I think a lot of us need to be more educated on absentee voting.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've done that already. Talk to them. That's in the past. You can't do it. It's done.
Mm-hmm.
If you were gonna vote absentee, you would have had to have completed your application, absentee ballot application by the 7th, and then had it turned in by the 10th, by this Friday. So, and if you have it and you haven't turned it in, you have until 4:30 p.m. October 10th to bring it into the City Hall office, registrar's office, voting registrar's office. I'm trying to get the words out. Now, Saturday, don't make any excuses. Don't make a voting plan. Where you're gonna go. If you don't know the location, then you can go on govote.com. That's GEAUX, vote.com, and get your voting location. There's a chance maybe it changed. You don't know. So go on there and be 100% sure you know where you're going, because I don't want you to be frustrated on Election Day. So get that information, make a plan to go early rather than late, so you're not standing in a line. and then right at 8 o'clock trying to get your vote in.
So tell me
Get in
this,
there.
let me get your professional. I'm gonna use you as my my person that can give me the information on what she thinks about this election. Do you think we're going to have a 50% turnout or greater, or do you think this will end up being low voter turnout?
I think that the momentum is already there. You had close to 40,000 people who cast their vote, their early vote. That's a lot of people for New Orleans. A lot of African Americans who came out, and a lot of white voters. And so I do believe that's record for us in some time. It's almost double what they did in 2017, I believe it. But to check those numbers, I know Garrett Chambers has done an excellent job of really giving us the details of the early vote. And will we surpass 50%? That's a great possibility. But I'll tell you this: I do not see Moreno winning outright, and it's a shameful thing that the narrative has been that she could just walk away with the election.
So you said something that's pivotal to that conversation, though, and I'm hoping that everybody heard what you just said. The narrative has been set.
There is a narrative.
That narrative was set by those people that want you to believe that is going to happen.
Exactly. There are alternative facts, right? We have to be very careful here in this climate, the American climate, where the media is already owned by billionaires, right? One key thing that I noticed in this election as I begin to look at the contributions that were given to Moreno, I did take note that John Georges, who is the owner of the Times-Picayune, is one of her heavy contributors. He's the owner. So who at the Times-Picayune or NOLA.com are going to go against the owners as far as an endorsement is concerned? We have to be very careful and do our research. There is a narrative that has been created that is to persuade you to believe that the black vote doesn't really matter in New Orleans, but the black vote does. Now, the other thing that is concerning, and I want to say this, is that, and I know this is going to be controversial. I know some people are going to probably say, well, no, this is wrong for her to say that. I do believe that it was strategic for Royce Duplessis to come into the election when he did.
Strategic?
Yeah, I do believe that. A lot of the money that Royce Duplessis has received is similar to what Moreno has received. Some of the donors are similar to what Moreno's donors. If you really do a little deep dive into the contributions, you'll see that. So they're hedging their bet that there's a possibility of Moreno not winning because this is a majority black city. You have to really, so they're hedging their bet. That's not saying that it could go one way or the other. I'm just saying it's strategic. It also, what it does is it, knowing they knew that Councilman Oliver Thomas may or would run, and so to prevent or to cause a split in voters, black voters, that would help them to overcome what they wanted to overcome as far as getting Moreno in office. So these are just my thoughts. I'm not an expert, but I do sense and see just from watching how this all played out and from knowing a couple of things from behind the scenes. And I want to make sure I say this too, because I think this is extremely important. Me personally, I do believe Royce is much more needed in Baton Rouge than he is in New Orleans.
That's not the first time I've heard that.
Yes, I know it's not the first time. What you're dealing with, he's a junior senator. He's a junior senator. He doesn't have enough tenure, as far as I'm concerned, as a senator, and we need him to gain that tenure and that experience in Baton Rouge, because what we're dealing with is very tumultuous. We have a governor that I don't believe, of course. I mean, he's not for us, and they want control of New Orleans. And you have to have strong leadership in Baton Rouge. We have to have people who have been there and who can stand flat-footed and help us, can help New Orleans to fight the battle that's taking place in the state government. And I just don't see this as being a wise decision on his part. But I'm praying that he will understand that he is much more needed in Baton Rouge than he is. And I'm not saying that New Orleans doesn't need him. You got to understand that's strategic. New Orleans has to have key players in Baton Rouge, as well as a strong mayor in New Orleans, a strong city council. You can't have parts. So that, I'm going to use this example. This might be helpful. Illinois. Illinois is a good example of strong leadership in state government and strong leader in Chicago. So Trump, that's a two-pronged thing. He's doing all kinds of wild moves because he doesn't have a governor that he can get over with, and a governor that stands flat-footed against him, as well as a mayor. So that's why I'm saying it is extremely, if people are intelligent and understand where I'm coming from, you'll know that this is extremely important, that we have strong state leadership from New Orleans and Baton Rouge, as well as a strong mayor. If you think Moreno is going to be strong for New Orleans and not buckle under the governor, you are sadly mistaken. She is going to go with Governor Landry every step of the way. I do not believe she's a good fit for the city of New Orleans, and that's just my opinion. I keep saying that I'm not an expert. I'm not, but I just don't see her being strong for New Orleans. And the other thing that I don't care for, sir, if you don't mind, is she just isn't a good fit representing New Orleans. I mean, she's not. People play this, but she's not one of us. She doesn't sound like us. They did a little second line, and J.P. Morrell and her were coming down the street. She don't even have our rhythm. She just doesn't sound like us. And it's not even about race. Real recognizes real. If you're from New Orleans, I don't care where you go. You can go to Canada. You can go to Tokyo, Japan. They know our voice. When they hear us talk, they're like, "Where are you from?" They know us. They recognize us. She doesn't represent us well at all. That's all I want to say. I could say more, but I appreciate the time. And look, I'm a supporter of Oliver Thomas through and through. He's the only one that I can see going in the water for us and take his shirt off his back and give us his shirt. People keep talking and dragging up 18 years ago when he did this and he did that. But has he done anything that you can say that was criminal activity since? He's kept his nose clean. He's begged for our forgiveness. In fact, when he did his press conference over 18 years ago, he cried and begged for New Orleans for forgiveness. Now, if anybody can hold a grudge for 18 years, you are most miserable. Let it go. Let's move on. This man is the right one for the right time.
Mm-hmm.
And the Word of God says that all things work together for the good of those who love the Lord and who are called according to his purpose. So guess what? Even though I feel like some of this stuff was strategic and this, that, and the other, we wouldn't have had a strong early vote without it.
Yeah.
So a lot of this stuff really plays into the hands of what our preferred future should be and what we really are looking for in a mirror. So I'm okay with it.
Okay.
I hope you are.
All right. Miss Denise, thank you, baby. I appreciate you always.
You're welcome.
All right. Talk to you later. All right, y'all. 504-582-9422 is our number. Final few minutes of the show coming up. Get your calls in right now if you want to talk. Because we got to take another break here. We'll take a break. We'll come back with the final few minutes next.
AURN News.
I'm Ebony McMorris. Senator Patty Murray says the country is on the edge of a health care crisis and Congress is running out of time to stop it.
This is not some distant crisis you can ignore. Premiums are being locked in right now. Letters are going out to families announcing shocking price increases this month.
A new Kaiser Family Foundation report shows premiums will more than double up to 114% if the credits expire. This means an individual making $28,000 could see costs jump from $325 to over $1,500 a year. And families in red states like West Virginia and Mississippi could see hikes over 300%.
To every Republican who keeps trying to say, we can talk about this later, later is simply too late. Oh, we can't discuss health care while government is shut down? Well, you didn't discuss it when government was open either.
For AURN News, I'm Ebony McMorris.
It's Off the Top with Norman Robinson on WBOK 1230 AM.
I was talking with Lieutenant General Russell Honore the other day to get his take on the move by Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth and the President, who ordered 800 senior U.S. military leaders to Washington, D.C. for an unusual and unprecedented group meeting. These high-ranking men and women were flown in from all around the world, leaving their command posts for a mandatory meeting, which, as it turns out, according to General Honore, could have just as easily been held via teleconference or simply shared by email. I watched the presentation by Hegseth and Trump in utter amazement. I was particularly troubled by Hegseth's suggestion that people of color were promoted on the basis of race and women were promoted based on their gender. That statement comes as no surprise, though, considering some 12 high-ranking military leaders have been fired since February, among them the Joint Chief of Staff Chairman General C.Q. Brown, a black man, and Chief of Naval Operations Admiral Lisa Franchetti, a woman. Need I say more? Honore questions the notion that these people were fired because they were unqualified. The generals and admirals in the audience, with decades of experience, are the most highly trained and accomplished military leaders in the world, which cannot be said of Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, who only achieved the rank of major in the National Guard. He has not served a senior role in the military. He has no prior government experience. He has no record of national security policy, and he has never led a large organization, unlike the last 10 secretaries of defense. So, compared to the resumes of the senior military leaders in the room to whom he was lecturing, Hegseth doesn't amount to a pimple on a gnat's ass. As for the message from President Trump, which drew backlash from several retired military commanders, he suggested that perhaps some of the so-called troubled cities in the country could be used as military training grounds. Critics are calling Trump out for attempting to politicize the military in an effort to further his domestic agenda. Moreover, the president is flirting with the Constitution, in which the Founding Fathers never intended for the military to serve a political party. It is therefore established to be nonpartisan and directed at foreign enemies and not American citizens. The meeting was a waste of taxpayer money, when the president knew full well we were headed for a government shutdown, and it was an insult to our top uniformed officers. So, before the president considers more ill-informed and politically motivated military moves, we pray that our military leaders remember their oath is to the U.S. Constitution, not the president. This is Norman Robinson, Off the Top.
Hey, this is D. Riley from the 90s Hits R&B Jams. Make sure you listen to WBOK 1230 AM every Saturday night from 7 until 9 p.m. I'll be giving you the best R&B jams from the 90s. That's right, all your favorites and more. With me, D. Riley, your host of the 90s Hits, right here on WBOK 1230 AM, or listen online at WBOK1230.com. WBOK, the station you listen to longer.
Wake up your taste buds at Inner City Brews and Bistro, home of the famous peach cobbler pancakes. Join us for breakfast every morning from 8 to 1 and keep the flavor going all day with soulful dishes and cocktails that hit just right. Visit us at 1401 St. Bernard Avenue. Open Tuesday through Saturday, 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. Inner City Brews and Bistro. Uniquely New Orleans, deliciously unforgettable.
The National World War II Museum. Located in the Warehouse District of New Orleans, the National World War II Museum tells the story of America's experience in the war that changed the world, why it was fought, how it was won, and what it means today. Visit them online at www.nationalww2museum.org for time tickets and safety information.
Hi, this is Cary Grant. Let's elevate every Tuesday through Thursday from 6 to 7 p.m. as we discuss the community, the country, and the world, from politics to current events and sports. We look forward to your input and continuing the quality programming on your community station, WBOK. Join us every Tuesday through Thursday, 6 to 7 p.m. on Elevated Conversations, the Arnie and Cary Show.
After 28 years in prison for a crime he didn't commit, Calvin Duncan established his innocence in a court of law. But Darren Lombard doesn't care about justice. He teamed up with Jeff Landry's attorney general to attack Calvin. They even sued him to stop him from talking about his innocence. According to Landry and Lombard, even if you're judged innocent, you're still guilty. Let's send Landry and Lombard a message. Vote number 7, Calvin Duncan.
Paid for by Calvin for clerk.
Our city thrives when every business has a fair chance. But when it comes to promoting equality, Helena Moreno has been anything but fair. In 2024, Moreno blocked a properly awarded sanitation contract to Black-owned Henry Consulting, giving the deal instead to a political supporter. Moreno opposed extending Richards Disposal's contract after nearly 20 years of service. It cost us $19 million more. All so she could favor a political ally. This year, Moreno refused to renew a 12-year marketing contract with the Black-owned Spirits Group. Moreno even refused permits for 4 Black-owned restaurants to locate in New Orleans East. And when one of the city's most transformative projects went to a vote, Moreno refused to fund the city's 50% share of the Black-owned Bayou Phoenix development. There's a warning. Moreno plays politics. Our city pays the price. Paid for by people for a better New Orleans PAC.
Hey, Pontchartrain Park. Thanks for listening to WBOK.
Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks, before I get out of here, don't forget, join me today. I will be your master of ceremony over at, I almost forgot what I was going to say, over at Federal City. Today it is Putting on the Ritz, happening right about now. So make sure that you join us over there. I'm headed over to the Federal City Auditorium for all the festivities. Yes, sir.
Bring me some of them crab cakes, bro.
I told you to come.
I got work. I got to be here.
Man, let them run their own show.
Okay.
They can do that. Before we go, George.
Man, I want some of them crab cakes too, bro.
I can't help you with that. I ain't bringing no food back. Not bringing no food back. I'm gonna eat my fast share.
Well, what kind of partner is you, bro?
What?
What kind of partner is you?
Fool.
I went.
Fool.
He said he wasn't gonna bring you any.
Nuh-uh, you neither. Nope.
Punk.
I ain't bringing
Yeah,
back no.
brother, you hear?
Yeah, what y'all think this is? This ain't no maid
Did
service,
you-
catering.
Did
What y'all
you
think?
hear,
This...
bro?
Oh, what you got before I go? What you got?
Okay, bro. That young lady you had on the broadcast just before you went into your commercials, she answered the question when I said before, Royce don't make sense. His whole coming back into the campaign doesn't make sense because at this point he's a late entry, even though he has a name, right? And he can get a share of votes. It doesn't make sense. It didn't make sense for him. It don't make sense to me that it makes sense to him because he's already in a good political situation. You know, even though he's junior state senator, right? He's already in a good political situation to help black people. So for a whole host of reasons, his campaign does not make sense.
Okay.
And I don't think he does himself any real favor because there's got to be people like me and like that young lady who just said when she went to his political money, where he's getting his donor money from, you know, he creates an unnecessary opposition for himself running again. So I'm like, bro, your show done gone a whole couple of different places today about them taking over the French Quarter, taking over the Sewage and Water Board, you know, and people really not understanding maybe what the impact of that is to governing a city, being the as far as being able to govern the city. You know, I started off your show this afternoon and I said, bruh, you about to make yourself a real hard show today. And you have put out so much information, bro, and I'm so glad I got to come up behind that young lady who said what just don't make sense to me. Royce don't make sense. And that's just clear. And so I'm going to get off the broadcast because I know other people waiting in line, bro, but you know what I'm saying. If I ain't listening to WBOK all day with Gerard G-Man, Stevens Reality Check, and Wick on the backboard, delivering on the Sunday, that music is still smashing. I'm going to miss out, just like I heard an important black facts about why Royce don't make sense. Follow the money. Royce, you don't make sense, bro. Go on and get out and keep preserve whatever dignity you got.
Yes, bye. Indeed. All right, George. All right, folks, that's going to wrap things up for me. Appreciate you for being a part of the conversation. Headed over to the West Bank. Let's have some fun with putting on the Ritz. We will see you tomorrow. And, whatever you do safely and carefully is the way we want you to do it, all right? Arne Carey up next, right here on WBOK.